Yo, what's up? This is Valoramous, and today's DJ tutorial I'm going to discuss recommended arrival times for public and private gigs. So there's two categories of events in my book. There are public gigs and there are private gigs. Public gigs are a bit more straightforward in that you usually do not need to bring the entirety of a mobile or private event DJ setup, such as what you see behind me. When you're playing a public gig at a bar, club, or a lounge, you usually do not need to bring lights, you don't need to bring a backdrop, you don't need to bring a table, you don't need to bring a facade, you don't need to bring air cannons, you don't need to bring focus spot pearls, rotating lights. All you need to bring is your turntables, your CDJs, or your controller, and your laptop if you DJ with a laptop, and then you could connect your power cables and your RCA or XLR cables sound out. And in some cases, these bars, clubs, and lounges will have some of these cables for you, such as they may have an RCA cable that runs from their PA or speaker system to your actual DJ decks. So the bottom line is that when you're conducting a public gig, the minimum time prior to starting your set that I would recommend that you arrive is 30 minutes minimum. You could sometimes arrive 20 minutes prior, especially if you know the setup, you know what you're doing, and you've done this several times. But 30 minutes minimum. I would really recommend 1 hour though, because 1 hour will allow you that time in order to network, to communicate with the bar staff, communicate with the bar manager. If it's a one-off event or a one-time event, that hour will give you the time necessary to talk with the staff and connect your sound check in advance of starting your set. Now, if you've played at this public establishment routinely, then you can fall back on that 20 minutes or 30 minutes pre-arrival time prior to the beginning of your set. Now for private events, I recommend 2 hours minimum, if not 4 hours. And if it's a very complex event, such as a wedding where you may be at multiple locations, such as the wedding itself and then also the reception, 4 hours will allow you time in order to conduct a reconnaissance of both areas, conduct a sound check of both areas, and bring in all your equipment, which is a mobile DJ. You need some of the equipment that you see behind me at your actual mobile DJ event, so you are adequately equipped and adequately prepared to conduct that gig. So 2 to 4 hours minimum, but really with private events, you will likely conduct a reconnaissance in advance of the game day. You may arrive a week prior to that gig and conduct a full reconnaissance of the actual venue, the actual setup, because you need to know where speakers are located, you need to know the establishment, you need to know where electrical outlets are located, you need to know the dynamics, the dimensions of the room, you need to maybe conduct a sound check so you can understand the acoustics of that room. And so by conducting this reconnaissance in advance, that will ensure success. So there you have it. That is my recommended times prior to public and private DJ gigs. I recommend 30 minutes to an hour for public events, and I recommend 2 to 4 hours for private events. And really I recommend you conduct a reconnaissance for both these gigs if possible, but definitely for the private event, because the private event you are hired to put on a performance and not ruin the day, whatever that is, if it's a wedding or a corporate event or a Christmas party, etc. I would recommend you conduct that reconnaissance in advance of the actual event, of the actual DJ gig. So if you like this content, like to see more, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Look upon your face into the embrace.